Hi there everybody, what's going on? It's JB here with an episode number 29 of this FIFA 18 Burnley career mode. And we're now well into the new year, and you can tell when it's the turn of the new year, you know what time of year it is again, FA Cup. But first of all, we discuss with Arsene Wenger here in the cutscene, because it's the start of the window, of course, and we are looking at buying Danny Welbeck. Now his current value is £15 million, as you see there. So we were thinking of a player swap to start with, and I decided to try and swap one of the strikers. We were looking foolishly to swap Welbeck for John Walters, and it didn't seem a like-for-like replacement at the time, so to be quite honest with you. Anyway, what we believe... we could consider Welbeck for Walters. We could consider, but we want to bring in a left back. Now we've got two very capable left backs. We've got Stephen Ward and Charlie Taylor. We didn't want to lose both of them, to be quite honest, because we need that healthy competition. Mind you, we preferred. So we decided no, that's not good enough for us. So we decided to right, we'll pay £13.6 million. And in fact, they accept it underneath the valuation, which is not like Arsenal, but they wanted a 2% increase on any future sales, and we did a deal with Wenger to bring Danny Welbeck. I have to say, he actually overall, when we played Arsenal in that 0-0 draw, you only saw like the highlights of it, but he really did play well and caused us one or two problems. So he's a pacey player. We needed a bit of pace in the squad. Anyway, we've agreed a deal with Wenger, and now Welbeck and his agent come in, and we obviously we need to accommodate him. We need to utilise him as well in the squad, because of course he's going to be a top player for us. He's an England international as well. So we tried to give him a 4-year contract because we need to keep him here for long term. Welbeck doesn't want to sign a 2-year deal. So we have to counter and come back with a 3-year deal, so which is not what we wanted. We wanted 4 years. But anyway, Welbeck decides to go down the line of a 3-year contract. He doesn't want a release clause, which is fine by us, because we didn't want to either. And then obviously he wanted to be on £130,000 a week. Now that was a lot of money for us to week out in wages, to be quite honest. This is Burnley Football Club we're talking about here, not Barcelona. But we decided to accept because he's a top player. And we decide that Welbeck will join us now, and he will be in the squad as in a few moments' time. So Welbeck comes on board for us there, which is great for us. So 13.6 million, but we are paying out 130 grand a week in wages, which is quite a lot for to say that we've signed him. And there he is, being presented to the local media, the Burnley Express and the Lancashire Telegraph, the Sun, the Star, the Mirror, all the national newspapers as well as you can think of. Anyway, so we signed Danny Welbeck for 13.6 million. Now it's FA Cup action, because it's third round day. We're away at Swansea in the third round of the FA Cup, and highlights of that coming right up. Can we get our cup campaign up and running? Let's find out. A warm welcome on a incredibly cold day in South Wales to the Liberty Stadium, where Burnley start their FA Cup campaign in their bid to win the FA Cup for the first time since 1914. And they give a debut to Danny Welbeck, a signing for £13.6 million from Arsenal. 27 years old, so he's still got a lot to go yet. He hasn't really quite reached his peak yet, Danny Welbeck. He has had a lot of injuries, but he makes his mark against Swansea today. And this is the Swansea side. A lot of experience there. Bertrand, Alfie Mawson, Cal Norton, Tammy Abraham and Wilfred Bonney are the two attacking midfielders. We keep playing in behind. Watch out for Jay Fulton. He's a tricky little player and a half. And Leon Britton, of course, he's Swansea through and through. So 4-4-2, and they're playing the narrow diamond. Paul Clement's side. Paul Clement, who learned his managerial traits as an assistant to Carlo Ancelotti at Chelsea and Bayern Munich. This is the Burnley lineup. Chris Wood is being rested, so Danny Welbeck comes in. So too does Grenier and Henrik. They replace Cork and Defoe, and Tarkowski comes in for the rested Ryan Shawcross and Whites. It's the same team. Well, third round of the FA Cup, always a special day in the football calendar. Here's Swansea in the white shirts with Tammy Abraham. And here's Wilfred Bonney, back to Abraham. Oh, he gets a chance here. Oh, and Heaton puts him off at the last seconds. Tammy Abraham looked as if he was going to get through there to make it 1-0 here. Mistake from Ben Mee gave him that opportunity, and he smashes it wide at the goal. And he didn't smash it wide by too much, but it was a bad miss. Bolton, Britton. Oh, and Key has run through. Key, oh, what a miss! How is Swansea not one up in this game? The Clarets are all over the place defensively, and well, two bad misses. First of all from Abraham, and now Key. Unbelievable. Paul Clement, no wonder he turns away in disgust. Oh my days. Here's Tarkowski in for the rested Shawcross. Here's Trippier. Still Trippier. Good running. Here's Welbeck. First chance to see what he can do. Danny Welbeck gets it off well. Good save. Fabianski there pulling off a very good save. Well, Danny Welbeck impressed when Arsenal came to Turf Moor. His pace more than anything else, and he forced the goalkeeper into a good save. And that's a good run by Charlie Taylor, but the shot just lacked the invention of the run. Tough test though for Swansea, the long trip up to the northeast of England to play Newcastle up at St James's Park next weekend in the Premier League. We're coming up towards half time. It's not been a classic FA Cup third round tie so far, but it is a draw incidentally after 90 minutes, folks. We will go to a replay in a week and a half's time at Turf Moor. There'll be no extra time and no penalties, but the replays only last until the fifth round, and then it's extra time for penalties from the quarter-final stage onwards in this season's FA Cup. In association with Emirates, as Schürrle goes through, and there's a half-time whistle. Well, apart from a couple of chances there for Key and for Abraham, and one potentially for Danny Welbeck, who forced a good save out of Fabianski, not much else to write home about here in this third round FA Cup. Let's hope the second half is a much better encounter than what we saw in the first. Swansea 0, Burnley 0 is the half-time situation. So we're 8 minutes into the second half, and Robbie Brady coming off, and Aaron Lennon, who changed the course of the game when he came on for Brady in the first half on a couple of weeks ago against Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium, comes on. And here's Henrik onto wings. And a good run here. Danny Welbeck's in the clear. 10 minutes into the second half. Welbeck, and how has that stayed out? Well, Fabianski was very, very fortunate here. Welbeck couldn't have struck that any sweet. It was going in there, and somehow it's come off his wrist there, having saved it with his palm initially. The ball bounced onto his wrist, and it just trickled the wrong side of the post for Danny Welbeck anyway, as the corner comes in, and the volley back in, and it was scrambled away by the Swansea defence, and then headed back in with interest. Burnley's next match, incidentally, is a League Cup semi-final with Reading at Turf Moor. That should be some encounter there. Here's Lennon. Smuggled away from danger. Taylor picks the loose ball up. Now finds Ings. And Schürrle can't steal it. Oh, he's stolen in. Schürrle across the face. Surely, first goal for Danny Welbeck, and it's going to be Danny Welbeck. First goal for Burnley. 60 minutes as a Claret, and he gets off the mark as a Burnley player. But the work rate of Schürrle was so important in the making of the goal. Busted a gut, and Danny Welbeck had the simplest of tasks. 1-0 Burnley. Here's Welbeck, looking to get his second goal. Welbeck off the crossbar, and then Danny Ings follows up to score. 2 goals in 4 minutes, and that could see Burnley through to the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup. Good effort there by Welbeck. Very unlucky to hit the middle of the crossbar, but the ball fell kindly for another Danny Ings, and he poaches in goal number 2. And funny for Paul Clement's thoughts, because Burnley are cruising now into the fourth round of Singstan. 2-0 the lead here in this third round. Here's Henrik to Schürrle, and Schürrle's away now. 13 to play. Oh, just evaded the challenge there. Still Schürrle, and Ings waits and scores. 2 for Ings, 3 for Burnley, and there goes the place in the fourth round. Signed, sealed and delivered. Celebrates, and a lovely little bow to our cameras. And lovely cross from Schürrle. That's 2 goals he's made today from the right hand side, and he's not normally a right-sided player, but he's certainly produced the goods on the right hand flank, and a lovely header from Danny Ings, and that seals Burnley's passage into the fourth round. Here's Mawson. McBurney. Messer. Key was in there. Messer. Mercer again. Good save. Tom Eaton has not had much to do in the second half. But when he's been called upon, he's pulled off an outstanding save there to keep the clean sheet very much intact. And to keep Burnley at 3-0 up. Key with the corner. And headed away as far as Meza. Fernandez. Bertrand. Fernandez. Mawson. Alfie Mawson. He went down, but no penalty given. Trippier away for Burnley. And here's Aaron Lennon. And Ings is through the centre. Here's Danny Ings. Has he got the pace to get away from Fernandez? He might do here. And Schürrle waits in the centre. It's Andre Schürrle. 4-0. What a lovely controlled low volley. And Burnley now are making this look so easy. And their FA Cup run is up and running here on South Wales. Swansea will bow out at the first hurdle. Burnley will march on to the fourth round. It's always going to be a banana skin game for Burnley, away from home, away from Turf Moor. But they've managed to hold it out and surely now go through to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. 4-0 they lead here as we go right into the last knockings of this second half. And it's 4-0 to the club. Well, it's been a remarkable cup tie. Swansea were winning for a good hour, but Burnley then just simply were just too good. Goals from Danny Welbeck, his first for Burnley. Then 2 for Danny Ings. And then 1 right at the end, a lovely controlled right-footed volley from Andre Schürrle has sailed Burnley's passport to the fourth round of this season's FA Cup competition. And maybe the FA Cup for the first time in over 100 years. Who knows? Final score then in the third round of the FA Cup here at the Liberty Stadium. It's finished Swansea City 0, Burnley 4. And Burnley go through to round 4. Yes, indeed they do. But we have another cup game to come against Reading. We can't bring you the draw, obviously, because there's still replays to do. But I can tell you in the first semi-final of this Carabao Cup, Watford and Crystal Palace, the 2 other semi-finals, have drawn 2-2. The winners, of course, play Burnley and Reading. So it's Burnley versus Reading. The lowest ranked team left in the competition go to the highest ranked team left in the competition. It may not be a glamorous semi-final. They may not have the Manchester clubs in it, but still, it's going to be dramatic nonetheless. The Palace-Watford game is dramatic. Join us for episode 29, if you can, for that one, if you can. But for me, JB, take care, and I'll see you soon.